Hi guys, it's Nikaya again. I would like to talk about inspiration today. Creativity, inspiration, ideas. And I like words. It's something that I've shared in previous posts and previous videos, but I love the root of words and the origins of words. And so when I learned that inspiration means a variation of to be breathed by God. I actually learned that in a business class like 15 years ago. Um, so when we're inspired, it is, we used to think of that as being breathed into by God, which is such a powerful idea and concept, and one that really shifted my thinking. I also question the ideas and the inspiration that's given to me. That's why I'm having this conversation at all today. I have some creatively brilliant people in my life who, some of whom are prolific. They just get an idea and they implement it immediately. And that's an astonishing skill to me. And there are others of us who get ideas all the time and we think those ideas to death. And those are the folks that I'm talking to today and have been talking to in um, other posts and videos. So a couple of things that helped me, first of all, was training myself, teaching myself, allowing myself to hear the words breathed by God or breathed into by God when I feel inspiration. So for me, what that is I'm recognizing that it's a gift. Whatever the inspiration is that's been delivered to me, it is a gift to me. Now, it also became super helpful to me when somebody introduced me to the idea that none of our ideas belong to us. And you can see this demonstrated if you're an idea person and you have slept on an idea and you see somebody else with that idea out there in the world, like they made a business around it, they created a book around it, whatever it is, you see your idea out there in somebody else's domain. So that idea that we're all tapped into a bigger pool of energy and resources also became really helpful to me. So then it became the idea of stewarding, of caretaking this particular resource, the resource of creativity, rather than it being generated from me, rather than it being me who's the source of the creativity. Um, so then for those of you who might be competitive, that can serve you, because when an idea is given to you, wherever it's coming from, inward, outward, that um, gift from God idea, that works for me because that's just my relationship with life. It does not work for everyone. So if you believe you self-generate, there's still a there's still a responsibility to taking care of the resource of creativity, regardless of where we decide it's coming from or agree or disagree on where it's coming from. It doesn't matter. It's still a resource. Creativity is a resource. So we can either take care of it or we can abandon it, ignore it, whatever it is we do, and wait. Sometimes not too long, sometimes it could be years down the road, seeing that idea in action through somebody else who got the same idea. They express it differently because we are, many of us, going to express things differently, but it's still out there operating on under someone else's uh, frequency. So I just want to offer those ideas to you. So let me see if I can bring them into a container for you to use. There's the idea that, well, there's first of all just the etymology of the word inspiration, which comes from to breathe, and then further back coming from the idea of being breathed into by God, to be animated. So it's a gift. And gifts are meant to be stewarded and then passed down to the next generation. So in this sense, you don't have to have children to pass something down to. It's the act of taking that idea and that creative inspiration and bringing it into form as best as you can. And bringing it into form is a way of passing it down. You may be passing it down to other adults, but we're sharing it with the rest of the world. I also want to say that a lot of us get stuck on the big picture of the idea. So we get the idea, we receive it, we might fall in love with it, and we might want to carry it out. We might be really lit up by it, and then we stop our role by trying to figure out how all the other parts are going to come into place. Like, who else is going to receive the idea? Who is this thing for? How do I finance it? How do I organize? Like, we try to figure out the whole thing rather than whatever our part is. And if an idea has landed in your field of awareness, initiation is the first step. It may just be that we're meant to hold an idea and gather information for that idea to turn it over to someone who can actually do the form making. Who knows? What I'm suggesting is it's not ours to figure out the entire idea. It's ours to take the first steps and see where those steps lead. And maybe those steps lead to the entire creation of that idea, the entire fulfillment of that idea. And maybe we're only meant to carry it so far and hand it off to someone else. So, for all of my creatives out there, we, the world, and I'm speaking of humans and all of the other beings on this planet, we are each being gifted with ideas and creative resources that this version of life that we're all stepping into needs. We all need our creative capacities at full expression. And if you are like me, someone who gets caught up in the details and caught up in the how is this going to work, and who needs this, and whatever it is your brain does to stop the process of creative expression, I'm just offering you a couple of tools to create some distance between the part of us that wants to control an entire experience and the part of us that wants to doubt and question. Like, giving that part of us some space because it's there, but leaning into the part of us that got the idea in the first place and understands how to take action, even if that action is just 1 or 2 steps, and then we turn it over to the next person who has been lined up to carry that idea to the next stage. Okay. Yeah. I'll talk to you later.